Now 4.0, this is a concept where team synthesis lay much emphasis on.
Professor Jhurry, you're the Vice Chancellor at the University of Mauritius. Please tell us, at the university, innovation, research and the need to develop entrepreneurs is a very important segment in the education program at the university. Please tell us more how Industry 4.0 relates to this mismatch.
This conference on Industry 4.0 I think is very important. It's important because it helps us reflect on where the world is moving. And as the university is a full part of the system, I think it's very important that we also participate fully into the reflection of how we drive Industry 4.0. You know very well that the university from the past and a half year now has been actively involved in developing relationship with the private sector and the public sector through that triple helix. We think that innovation is very important. And we came up with a vision of having a research engaged and entrepreneurial university. So to accompany this vision, which is about moving research and moving entrepreneurial activities to support innovation, to accompany that vision, it's obvious that the teaching has to change. We cannot rely on what we refer to as classroom 1.0, where the teacher is at the center of the classroom. We need to go towards the 2.0 system. In big universities, they're already talking of, at NUS for example, already talking of classroom 3.0. That is total interaction, student at the center of the learning process. We don't have the means to jump to the 3.0, but at least we have to make an effort to go to the 2.0, which means that the learner is at the center. We no longer have that traditional classroom type where everybody sits down in the classroom and waits for the lecturer or the teacher to deliver everything. This is where we have that kind of spoon feeding in our country. We have to get away from that and give the learner, especially at the university, give the learner the opportunity to develop independent learning. We are trying to do this as from this year. We're trying to develop flipped classrooms where the students will be in the classroom, the lecturer acts as a facilitator and not digest everything for the student. The student will be encouraged to develop independent learning. We hope we can do this by transiting to what we call the European Credit Transfer System, where the students will have the chance of doing their learning by themselves. We think that this is important, but we're not only relying on the structural change, we're also looking forward to embed in our different programs entrepreneurship, innovation, soft skills. As you know very well, Industry 4.0 is not only about knowledge. Industry 4.0 is also about using that knowledge and applying the knowledge. And so along with this, there's a number of different things that we have to make sure that our students are fully equipped, like moving from the traditional learning process to a more problem-based learning. Putting it as mandatory that when our students are doing assignments, they have to go through the Turnitin, which is a kind which checks whether people are plagiarizing or not, or just copying and pasting. So all these things are very important to develop creativity, to develop innovative skills in the students. So this is how we're moving these things forward, along with a lot of other things that we're doing side by side to develop entrepreneurial skills through incubators in the emerging technologies, digital printing or 3D printing and so on, but also for example, through the Agri-Tech Park.
You have spoken how the University of Mauritius is improving in terms of management and the day-to-day running, especially for classes and courses. But how is the university addressing what is required to match the gap in terms of Industry 4.0, in terms of the courses that are being offered?
Yeah, well, when we talk of 4.0, some countries have a clear strategy on how to move, the whole country to 4.0. We can't do that piecemeal. It's not, one institution deciding to do things to move to 4.0. I think it's whole strategy that has to be put in place, and the proper structure has to accompany that strategy. When we are doing a lot, if I can answer your question, we are doing a lot to address skills mismatch. That is, we are addressing industry's needs. How do we do that? We're working a lot with industry directly to develop programs. A lot of examples can be given. I can give you the example that, where we have developed master's programs with Accenture, for example, company, where we're responding to specific needs of that company in the IT sector. We will do that with other companies in the months to come, in the weeks to come. We'll be signing agreements with other companies in the IT sector to develop, sort of develop programs that respond specifically to their needs. We're also developing other programs in the banking and finance sector with banks, again, to respond to the banking needs. So this is how we are trying to address the skills mismatch. We are inviting private sector, this is very new, inviting private sector to come on campus and to establish, for example, Accenture has got a lab on campus. So having a lab on campus where the students can come and work on campus means a very close relationship with industry. This is the only way we can address those sort of skills mismatch.
Business Connect, that's it for this edition. Find this program on our website and also follow us on our Facebook page. We'll see you next time for another edition of Business Connect. Till then, it's goodbye.